Congratulations, Saskatchewan. You made us so proud. And we got to spend time with you. And it was a real highlight of our trip, for sure. And a couple of things that came out of there where it was a different voice and the same message. Really, something just hits you sometimes. And that's all we did, right, Tracy? We gave the same message, but just different voices. But it was really great. Dave and Lonnie were there, David and Lonnie. And one of the biggest things that we saw with that was there was questions to the diamonds. And first of all, the why question came out to every diamond, and everyone was so cool as customers, and they were great. The whole, they were tough leaders. But as soon as that why came, there was blubbering on stage, wasn't there, Lorna? There was blubbering from every diamond, and there was 11 of us on stage telling our why. So very significant for you to tap into your why and really dig deep on what it is you want. And it's a process. And so what David Dillingham, we got a question of, what's next in Nucerity's future? Well, didn't take him more than 2 seconds to go, I got this. And he said, we're ramping up and we're preparing to be the next billion-dollar company. We lost our breath, you guys. They were talking about, we're getting everything prepared. You're not seeing a lot of corporate, but they're working really long hours. They're making sure everything's into play. Their new products, what's coming, what is the warehouse is ready. All of these things, the tools, our back offices, everything's changing. And it was breathtaking because I've always wanted to be in a company that was going for $1 billion. And not everybody makes it. There's companies that have been around for a long time and haven't made it. There's companies that don't make it 2 to 3 years. There's companies that make it there and then they don't have the foundation. We have the foundation. It was really exciting to hear David, wasn't it, Tracy? Just ripple it off. Trace, do you want to add any comments? Because it was pretty gut-wrenching.
No, Deb, you're feeling it right there. And you guys, Deb and Ken say this all the time. You don't know how special Nucerity is and the perfect storm that we have. I mean, Deb and Ken specifically know all about starting a new network marketing company, and for our founders to say we're going to become $1 billion, everything's in place for it to be $1 billion company, like, blow my mind. Yeah.
It was. Thanks, Trace. And Tracy and Dave and stuff are going to put some comments along here. And so we left Saskatchewan a little tired already because they kept us up. They're crazy over there. And we headed to Vegas, and we got to Vegas, and we were ready to be educated. And we were not disappointed. Eric Worre for 2 days, they were 14-hour days with not a lot of breaks. And it was course after course after course, and we took tons of notes. So this could go on for 5 days, and we will train you on all this stuff, and the courses are coming out, and it was epic. We were in the Palms Conference Center, and I just want to paint the picture, a round room, and everybody rotated every couple of hours so that you saw different people in the crowds, and he changed into his amazing different suits the whole time. Now, here's what I want you to know. This is something I really taught in the corporate world. It's Thursday. I'm tired. I do the same job, in the corporate world all the time. And the customer comes in and I'm not at my best. And what we always train them on is, look, if you went to a Cher concert and it was a Thursday and you paid $250, just like the person on Monday paid $250, are you game on? Are you the same great singer then as you're on Monday? You better be, because your business will go out of business if you get known for inconsistencies. So Eric Worre, here he is, and he is really busy right now, and he gets up, and you can see his production staff every time he takes a break going, you're taking way too much time, but he gets into it. And he's just into it. And they're going to edit portions out. but he's into it. All the nooks and the crannies and the simple stuff. You guys, it was game changing. It was just so incredible. And he said, I don't care if I take too long. Do you guys care? We're like, no, 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 no. Because he needs to get into it. He needs to really get the feel of it. And you could feel it. And here's one of the biggest takeaways, and these guys are going to share their takeaways that I got out of it. Everything we've done up until this point in Nucerity is exactly what he's talked about. Sometimes it just gets watered down as the more people get in the company. All we need to do is go back and do exactly what we did for the first 3 years. And those simple little extra things that make an epic business need to be done. Excuse me. Sorry. And that's my biggest takeaway. Now, Jan, excuse me, I'd love to hear your takeaway.
So the very first thing he said was, you only get to earn what you are as a person. And that's always been kind of an issue with me because of thinking small. But it's what is success to you? And Eric made so many, he was asking everybody what they wanted, and he told a lot of stories. And I haven't really discussed my story a whole lot. And he threw a challenge out to tell 100 people your story. And I'm going to take that challenge. So, but part of it too was thinking in 15-minute blocks. Life gets overwhelming, and you just, block it down. And 15 minutes, you can text a few people. Most of it is keep it simple, and have get to know the person, ask a few questions, tell them what the story is, your story, and then ask for a decision. Are you in or are you out? He just made it sound so simple, and I guess that's a lot what I heard. Just keeping it simple. We're just educating people. That's all. Yeah. We're
consultants.
Yeah.
And if you tell your story, think about this. If you go and tell your story 100 times, what do you think is going to happen? It's epic. What'll happen? Some people will hear something that just resonates with them. And if it doesn't, does that matter? It doesn't. So Tracy, we're going to use your takeaway as we go through a little bit more. I don't think Stacy Pruch is on here, is she? She was there for one of the days. Stacy, if you're, you can put your hand up. But one of the things she got out of it was when she stepped up as a leader and has had to do a little bit of training in different things, she's changed. And she's gone platinum. So it's really, really cool. So we're going to talk about the first one, Rockstar Confidence. He does a course on confidence. Who else does? Nobody. So these courses are going to be available, and we'll watch them over and over. But I just want to give you a little bit of the tidbits because we were writing like 45 pages of notes. Unstoppable confidence, because people are influenced by people that have confidence. Isn't that true? You go, wow, I got to know what they know. I got to do what they do. You do. You really follow confidence. Now, Sloan's on the webinar too. When I met Sloan and Mary, I did not have the skills, but I knew I had to show them confidence, and I was scared to death. I had to show them confidence so they'll follow me. And so Sloan is a question asker. She's going to ask hole, just like Jack Canfield says. And she would ask all these questions, and we're starting them. We didn't even have a website barely, you guys. And we didn't have people to ask. There was no customer service. It was just we had to figure it out. And she'd ask these questions. So I had some choices. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Or, you know what, Sloan? That's a really good question. I'll find out the answer for that, and I'll get back to you. Okay? And then I'd go in the other room and puke. But who do you want to follow? The person that goes, oh, I don't know. It's not pathetic. They don't have any information. Wah, wah, wah. If I hadn't been that for Sloan, she wouldn't be here. She needed certainty. She needed posture from her leader. She needed a leader. So I just kept 5 feet in front of them going, okay, I got to step up. If I want these people to stay with me, I got to keep going. And it's the most exciting thing. Don't be afraid of that. Okay? So he talks about confidence. Comes from here. Hey, Tracy talked all about inner game.
Yeah.
And that it's your mindset. And are you working on that all the time? Seldom does your income ever exceed your mindset. You know, I still am working on mine. And Eric is working on his nonstop. He didn't have the confidence that he thought he could write his book. The Eric Worre book, you all read? Because he failed school. And he'd been told he was an idiot for years. And he didn't make it into college more than a month. Right, Trace? And
Right.
he said, I can't write a book. And his wife said, oh, yes, you can. Come from your heart. Be who you are. Yes, you can. So you guys, we all get in here. Eric Worre gets in here too. We all do. Are you okay with that? It's part of the process, isn't it? Tracy, have you ever gotten in your head?
Oh man, I've been in my head for the last 6 months. I'm so glad I'm getting out. I'm getting out.
You've been in there longer than that even, I think.
Oh, there's
What?
Dave. So they talked about the 3 pillars are your skills, your strategy, and your mindset. And we'll go through this quickly because there's just some little tidbits along the way, you guys. We have software issues in our brain. We have emotional mindset, don't we? We really do. We're working on old programming. Eric was working on old programming from when he didn't make it through school, then he was stupid, that he couldn't write a book. Correct? Are we working on old programming? You have to expose your emotion. You have to be vulnerable. And the killer of this business is procrastination, isn't it? Isn't it? It really is that long, ugly word. You need deadlines. And he said this over and over for 2 days. You proclaim what you're going to do to everybody and go do it. And you know, he's so right. We told everybody, we're going into network marketing. You may think we're crazy, but we're going to rock this. That's ridiculous. Any of you ever been on a diet? Karen hasn't. Yeah. Tracy, you have not. I'm just teasing you. But, you know, if you proclaim that you're going to do something, so I'm going to do one right here. I will have 15 pounds off by the Australian conference. I want all of you to know I feel really accountable. I want to proclaim it. I'm going to do it. So guess what's going to happen when I want to, I'm just going to eat some carbs tomorrow. No, I'm going to see all your faces and go, oh, I'm going to see them at the Australian conference and they're going to go, how'd that work? Right? So are you proclaiming what you do? That you're building a business, that you're doing it, or are you trying? That is massive. And be okay with people that go, wow, that's a little nuts. Yeah, well, who cares, right? Who cares, you guys? We got something really special. Self-doubt, we all have it. Defense mechanism, we all have it. Our self-worth, what are you telling yourself? Confidence and follow-through. Your chicken calls, are you making chicken calls, or are you always reaching down to people that you feel superior to? Well, how's that going to work, right? You talked about the roadmap, the seeds of confidence. You know, we do get a lot from our parents. Our parents did the best job they knew how, right? And all of you that are parents, did you do the best job you knew how? You really did. It's kind of, there's no real book, is there? It's kind of trial and error. Kind of like network marketing sometimes. Did you do the best job you could? Everybody that's a parent, right? So, but along the way, our parents and our people in our life, they had old programming. So what did they teach you? Oh, you can never do that. Or you can do anything you like, right? Anything, Dave and Tracy, you want to add there?
What I'd like to say, Deb, is that, you know, when it comes to confidence, Debbie and Ken did not have any crown diamonds in the business when they got started. All they had was a piece of paper from David and Lonnie saying, this is how you can get to Crown Diamond, but nobody proved it. We now have the confidence to say, we have people who have made it to the top in our business, and we are the connectors to showing you how you can have that same success, if that's what you're looking for, or anything in between. Self-confidence starts with courage. Courage to step out and do the right success steps. Self-confidence will come. That was one of the big takeaways I got from Saskatoon with Misty saying, you know what? Self-confidence is like we have to develop that within ourselves, but I truly believe stepping out in courage, falling down and getting back up, course correcting is where your self-confidence is going to come from. And you guys, by the very fact that you've all signed up to be network marketing pros, you are already a success. If you have one person in your downline, you are already a success. If you have a bank account growing, you are already a success. It doesn't matter if it's gotten into your genes yet or not. It's the fact that you have a live, growing business happening. And sooner or later, those CV are going to be converted into dollars. So the people that we're talking to, do they have that? No. That's what I have to say, Deb.
That's what Tracy had to say. Isn't that the truth? And so Eric would talk about stats, and our stats in Nucerity are higher than some of the stats. In the next couple of weeks, we'll go over that. But here's one in network marketing. If you sign someone up in August and they are in the company 6 months, but have not earned $1, not 1,000, $1, only 20% will be active after that 6 months. Not even 60 days, 6 months, $1. Do you think that we can help them with our plan to make $1? Yes, yes. We're going to talk about that over the next couple of weeks. So if you earn $1, 20 to 80% retention. So you know when some people go into witness protection and you never hear from them again? It's not your fault. It's them. It's okay. Witness protection. Go ahead. So leadership really does make a difference to retention, all of that. This is kind of cool. I want you to think about this tonight. What stands in the way becomes the way. Amen. Yes, Tracy. What stands in the way becomes the way. He is amazing for phrases. I have pages of just phrases that I've taken and just put phrases. One of my favorite, you guys, going off the point. Does everybody have a spouse? Oh, you don't need to tell me because you don't. Does your spouse support you? If they don't, stop crawling. That was massive. Because if I had crawled, Ken would never have supported me. We came from the corporate world. I said, I'll show you. I'll show you. There was no way I was going to let him down or let somebody say, oh, that little thing didn't work. But if I was crawling, right? So many people crawl, Eric Worre says, and then can't figure out why 2 years later their spouse is going, are you doing that stupid thing still? Right? So don't beat yourself up for crawling. Just stand up. Yes, Tracy.
Yeah, may I say, what stands in the way becomes the way. The big takeaway that I got to just elaborate on that is we stand in fear. So if you're standing in fear over a skill or a tool that you haven't mastered yet, then that's what you got to get good at. That's what you got to spend your time on mastering so that you can become a pro in the very thing that is standing in your way and stopping you from doing what it is that you want to do. So what stands in your way needs to become what is the way. That just was huge when I started thinking about what is it that I'm not doing and why is it not doing, because I don't feel confident in that particular area. So that's where I need to spend some extra time getting good at. Hey,
you
Deb,
feel confident when you're good at, when you get good at, right? So cows, if you've never heard the story, run with storm, and they run for days. Buffalo, turn and face the storm and run into it. Who's getting through it faster? Buffalo. Who's smarter? Buffalo, right? They get through it. They're done. The cows are just like for days out there running, right? So that is so huge, Tracy. You got to face your fear. If you don't, I can guarantee you from my wise old age that it will nip you in the butt, even if you're not in network marketing. It's going to come up. Things that you're scared of all your life are going to come up over and over and over again until you conquer it. So huge, Tracy, huge. Excuse me. Really learn to be slow with an emotional response. This is a very emotional business, and it draws out all your fear, your anger, all those different things, your joy, your excitement. But don't be a slave to it, and really learn how to. It's called the 24-hour rule. When you're really upset about something or someone, let it sit for 24 hours and then deal with it. And it really does. It's not there, right? So he really did talk about our judgments, our creativity. What is not up to us, don't worry about. Those variables in life, you're worried about things you have no bearing on. So, and that plays a big part in your confidence. Road to confidence is through fear. It really is. Whatever you're scared of, just hunker down and get your team to help. Everyone's here to help. And what really is that fear, right? It feels so good when you go through fear. It feels amazing. You feel unstoppable. Just take those little steps along the way. Those who are willing to go through the pain become world class, and it changes everything. And Deb passed a creative talk the other week. I don't know if you guys heard it, that her horse, they went to a course where the horse, that rhymes, had fear, and how through repetition, the horse was no longer scared about walking on a mattress. I believe that was one of the things, or all of those different things. So we're no different, right? We have to do repetition, and Deb had to be strong and show the horse that everything was okay, right? We learn so much through life. Nothing's different in network marketing. So your self-worth, you have to work on it. I am worthy. I am capable. I am deserving. Dave, what would you like to add about confidence? Because you don't have any.
No. You sort of hit the nail on the head when you were talking about the horse story. I mean, when Tracy and I first learned how to surf, neither of us knew how to surf. And I remember getting behind that boat, and that wave was huge. And I was inside, I was like, there's no way I can do this. And I fell, of course, like, that's just part of the process. But I got back on the board. And before you know it, you're out there surfing. And it just became a decision. I decided I was going to do that. So when you relate that to our business, and Eric Worre talked about this at great length, that it really is about making a decision. Everything in this business is you having made a decision to do it. And we can look around our own company, and just some quick names that come to mind is, Susie and Brent Helen. I can tell you when they made a decision. Does everybody remember when they showed up on the scene about 9 months ago? There, Stacy down in Vegas, she's made a decision, and she's been all over the headlines lately. Mexico made a decision, and I can tell you right now, most of Australia made a decision. So this is really what it comes down to: make a decision, and that self-confidence will build and come out all over the place. If you don't have it now, it'll come.
So true, and it's a work in progress. And don't be scared of it, because it's a pretty great feeling to have that confidence as you go about your life every day. And we all work on it, just like Eric Worre does. So don't think, oh, you're going to get to a point and then you're so confident, because the levels change as you go up and up. He started with 200 people, and then he spoke to 500, and then it's to 1,000, and then he spoke to 20,000. Like, it's a progress, right? And if you're not nervous, then you really don't care, right? You don't care about what you're doing. So, that was the confidence one. You're going to love it when the course comes out.
Yeah.
It really is, isn't it? And then one of the other ones was getting started. So there was one on getting started, the gateway skill. Who knows what the gateway skill is? It's huge, huge. And we'll do that one week too. It's the most important skill, you guys. It's the art of getting prospects in front of the product and the opportunity. And so many people, when they first start, you know, he says, we're a puppy and we pee all over everybody. I like that one, instead of puking. And we do, right? There's a happy medium, isn't there? And there's the little extra things that if you're not getting people to a meeting or you're not getting people to a call, there's some little things that you're missing along the way. It's just that, isn't it inches, you guys? It's just that little bit more of taking it to the next step. And we're going to really work on that one, because that is the gateway. If you can't, and you do that, and you're lacking in some other skills, you're going to do really well. Joanne Ward, what did she do? She got Sally Arnold on the call 12 times. I really like this product. It's just absolutely amazing. Here, you got to talk to Sally. Sally? And Sally, Yellow Diamond. You guys, she has the gateway skill, right? That's huge. Learn that. Her confidence wasn't there. All of those other things weren't there when she started, but because she did that, she built her confidence. She learned all the other skills as we go in. So pretty cool. And you've got examples everywhere in the company, which is so awesome. The number one reason people don't get started. This is very important to know. They don't think they can enroll anybody. They don't see how they can find people. So what's one of the biggest ways? You know, Darcy, when we went through a period like this, you know, you do things that really work, and then you think, oh, what should we do now? Have any of you been to a business opportunity where at the end you say, we're going to have a contest to see how many people can get the most names, and you pull off the ultimate memory jogger of Eric Worre's, and you go, okay, we got 2 minutes, go. Who's your aunt? Who's your neighbor? Who's the nurse you knew before? Who's your dog sitter? Who's your dog groomer? And you go through, and people are going like this, and then you go, okay, stop. Who's done that before? At a meeting. And then you go, okay, now we're going to talk about the silver rank. We're going to start at the silver rank, or you can start at superstars, bronze, whatever you want, but to make it shorter, who's going to start at silver? Okay, for silver, can all the silvers please stand up in the room? And all the silvers stand up. Great. Okay, if you want to be a silver, you need 2 people, one on the right, one on the left, and some volume. So who's got 2 people? Oh, I've got 2 people on my list. And you go right through the ranks and get people to stand, and you have fun. If I'm a new person and the biggest fear is that I don't think I can enroll anybody, but I've just put down 14 names, what do you think just happened? It's a game changer, right? So when you're talking to someone, they say, I don't know anybody. Well, let's just have fun. We have a memory jogger, and there's a prize. I'm paying your coffee, I'm paying your donut, whatever that is. Do you think you guys could do something like that and really help? You should be carrying that ultimate memory jogger with you. It's absolutely incredible. I get 10 more names every time. 10 more names after 7 years, every single time.
Deb, may I add in there that Eric was talking about 6 degrees of separation, and he said, get your first degree, which is your list. That's the starter kit. It's the second degree. Who do they know? The people on your list, who do they know that is looking for our opportunity and our skin health and wellness? So now your list just got 3 times bigger, 4 times bigger.
Absolutely, it's massive, right? It's just that big, you guys. So Darce, there is somebody with their mic on. We can hear some water and stuff, just so you know. Let Dave, no, Dave's not doing the dishes. It's all good. So something you could do, something that you're aware of, and you could really help someone when they say, you know, I'm scared, I don't know anybody. I felt the same way. Did any of you feel the same way? Let's be honest. I did. Oh my God, I'd lived in a cubicle for 10 years. We didn't have any other friends, right? I don't know anybody anymore. Well, let's do this. Okay. Oh, my list was 300. 300. And then I got creative, right? So I still haven't reached all those 300. Have you? No. Are you sharing the gift? And didn't he talk about that a lot? You know, we always talk it, but to hear Eric Worre say it, it was just like it was New Sarity phrases. We have a gift. You're sharing it. You pretend that you got $1,000 in your pocket, and when you meet that someone for coffee, and you're going to share the gift in New Sarity, it's $1,000. And that's how you put it in your heart, and that's how you feel. And if they don't want the $1,000, that's fine. That's their opportunity. What do you think is going to happen? You know, I got this really hit me in the forehead when he said, I had a single mom, and and young kids, and she's got her hands full, and she's barely making it through. And she said, how am I going to do this? My nooks and crannies are so messed up. You know, there's always a kid screaming or whatever. He goes, look, what if you got a daycare, a babysitter, every Saturday for 2 months? So, you know, let's figure out how much money that is, okay? What if you can make back that money by your actions? Now, every Saturday, you're in the back of the coffee shop, and you invite over 10 people every Saturday to sit down and hear the opportunity and about the product. Oh, I could do that. Yeah, you've got no distractions, your kids are looked after, you're actually having some me time, and you can do that. Would you do that? Sure. Let's do it for 2 months. Guess what happened to your business? Boom. Boom. Have you guys tried anything like that? It absolutely, Sloan, we would go to Vancouver, 7 presentations a day. Boom. Boom. Sense of urgency. Everything changes. So if that single mom didn't have an excuse, why should we, right? It's so, so key. There's 3 things we do. Do you ever get asked what we do? There's 3 things we do. We sell products to consumers by word of mouth. True? True. We grow and expand networking with other distributors who are doing the same. True? True. We improve the productivity of our network. That's all we do. Oh, somebody's drinking water.
Hey, Deb, I'm just going to mute everybody again, and then just unmute yourself.
Sure. Excuse me. Thanks, Darce. That water sounded really good on my throat. Set expectations. So I want you guys to write down, there's no magic beans. I didn't find magic beans. Nobody found magic beans. It takes effort and it takes time. And it's not a lottery. It is work and effort. So I want you to write a 1, a 3, a 5, and a 7 straight across the page. This is the expectation formula. Don't beat yourself up if you haven't done it, but it's the average of what people that are serious will happen. Number 1 is the first year, so you can put year by 1. That is when people become confident and profitable. So you've got your initial pack paid back and your auto ships, right? Excuse me. Number 3rd year is you go serious part-time to full-time. Bless you, Nancy. Okay, in the 3rd year. The 5th year, you become a serious income earner. And your 7th year, you're a world-class player or leader. And you have done over 10,000 hours. And what he equated that to was a doctor. A doctor is 18,000 hours to become a doctor. So people will go fast, but if you haven't grown with the speed and your personal growth isn't there, what happens? You'll fall back, right? So you on your own time need to also have personal growth. I thought that formula, Dave, was absolutely incredible to see it. I've seen him do it before, but what do you think of that?
Well, it makes sense, because just look around and apply that thought process to those in the company that have taken that serious look, or that serious road in our business. And, here we are in year 7, and you can count the people. We know who those that are serious world-class players in this business, and they have gone through that process. You look at professional athletes, 10,000 hours is the magic mark for them to be a pro worthy. And that doesn't mean they're going to make it in the pro league, whatever their sports choice is, but it means that they're at that level of pro. And time after time, we see that amount of effort has to be put in. So when we look at ourselves in year 1 or 2 or 3, and we're being hard on ourselves because we're not diamond yet, or whatever lofty goal that we're looking for, we can't beat up on ourselves because we haven't put the hours in yet. And that's the beauty of network marketing. It allows us to do that at our pace.
That was a great way to say it, because you may be in 4 years, but you need to be really honest. Did you put in the hours, right? So don't worry about it. When you make the decision to really do it, that's when it all starts. So I love that formula, because it really sets some clear expectations. Yep. In network marketing, you only get as much as you are a person. And Jan brought that up. What a great thing that Jan saw some value there. If growth not there, the rank drops, right? So you'll see people really move ahead, but if their growth and their leadership isn't there, that'll fall back. So do it along the way. You never lose, but you win and learn. And that's what you've got to remember too. That is so vital to this journey. Now, you're going to fall down, but get back up. That's where we learn. It's just the way humans are. It is so incredible. The average business, which seems so low to me, in the United States, traditional business is $65,000. Didn't that seem a little low for you, Dave and Tracy?
Oh.
Yeah, nice try, I wish.
Yeah, exactly. And people that go into business with $65,000, that is little. They expect to get their investment back in 3 years. Now, I didn't say expect to be a millionaire, did I? No. They expect to get their investment back in 3 years. And it usually takes 5. 65,000. So what about a company with $500,000, right? What about those franchises? So you've got to remember what you're doing, what you're going through. This is going to take time. It's going to take work, growth, skills, focus, mental toughness, and you got to be coachable. And you're going to learn as you go along. You're going to be underpaid in the beginning while you're learning, and you've got to know, just like those business people, that I will be paid fairly after that, and then I will be paid sick gangster money for all my efforts I ever did. And do you deserve it? You damn tootin' you do. Because you hunkered down and you went through your fear and you learned all those different things. You need a long-term vision with a short-term urgency. Nobody will follow someone crawling. People like speed. It excites everyone. Even when you're talking to prospects, you're talking the speed. I know you're busy, I'm busy too, right? Isn't that the first thing we're taught? I know you're busy, I'm busy too. Oh my gosh, I just want to talk to you. It's all exciting. Are you excited just when you hear that? Oh yeah, what's up, what's up, what's up? Success loves speed. Excuse me. Continue to learn. Be a professional. There's no free lunch. Assume success is key. So one of the days we do some training, we're going to go over what the stats show and how sometimes 70 people out of 100 in network marketing come in and don't do anything. But you can't assume that. You've got to assume with your heart and your soul that when someone comes in, they want this, like they said, they want to do it. When you assume success, what happens? It could pull out some amazing greatness, okay? Because it is a numbers game. But then they might go into witness protection. And they might stay in there for a year. And they've got so much fear, they're paralyzed. but they might realize that the culture has really changed everything. How many people can say the culture has changed their life? Lucerity culture has changed my life. I've never had so many amazing friends around the world. Just a little bit more here. Mentality, very important to start at the highest level. Okay, so I want to really talk to you about everything we've done in Lucerity in the first couple of years and how it's gotten watered down. Eric will agree, and I am a stickler for this, and so is Ken. What is the best pack to come in with? A founder pack. And you'll say, okay, and you gotta have posture, don't you? Does everybody agree? And you gotta tell the value. Here's the value, the cost, first of all. Do you know that the company puts this pack together to give you the best start in your business? Now let's hang on here, Sally. I thought you wanted to really rock this business. I do, but that just makes me feel uncomfortable. Good, you should be a little uncomfortable. We need you to have a little skin in the game. Do you know what I was told in the corporate world for years? The best employee is the one with the largest mortgage. You know what? It kind of is, because they want it, right? So, and you need to get uncomfortable. And so if you're not there yet with the founder pack, you shouldn't be closing people. You allow your team to really come and share from your heart. So look, Sally, we do it once, and do you realize that everything you do will be duplicated in your business for years? So we want to do this successful with a strong foundation. Let's do it right. Okay, Deb, I got to tell you, there is no possible way I can get that money. Awesome, I totally understand, and I don't want you to be embarrassed about it. I get it. I've been there. Can we sit down and come up with 25 strategies to help you figure that out? What do you mean? Let's sit down. Let's really figure this out. If you really want to do this, we can find a way. And that's what we did for 3 years in the beginning, and I built so many diamonds in Lucerity. Sloan went and borrowed money. And you got to have posture and say, okay, can you go borrow $100 from 10 people? And tell them this is really something, a business venture. You can write them on a little contract, and by the end of the month or 2 months, you'll have it paid back. Do you think you could do something like that? Do you think you could, let's talk about consignment. What could you sell? Now you may laugh. Mary Bullard sold her sewing machine. She sold her furniture to go to a conference. We all did. I sent tons of stuff to consignment. That kept me going to conference. I had to. So can you sit down and brainstorm with someone? Can we have a garage sale? How can we do this? We used to pre-sell 20 or 16 bottles of Sincerity. Get the check, go back, go to Money Mart, get a Visa. It's not a real Visa. Put the money on that so people could start. Mary Bullard did that. She's a yellow diamond. Are we offering that help? Are we showing them, or we crumble and go, okay, let's come in with the baby pack. Let's just come in with a 2 bottle, right? And when someone's not courageous, or they're not, you know, they got the easy way out, well, I can go into witness protection pretty easy, can't I? So we're going to really teach you guys along the way in the next little while how to close with a founder pack. It's the right thing. It's not for the company, it's for them, right? So all those things we used to do, we got to stop watering it down, and we got to go back to those basic skills. Eric Worre has made $50 million in the network marketing industry. Do you think he knows what he's talking about? He does. So we probably have gone fairly long, but your story, don't you agree, Trace and Dave? Wasn't that amazing?
That was my highlight. That whole segment we did on your story was my highlight by far.
Do you mind sharing what we did, Dave, and how it really showed?
Well, what he did was he got everybody to stand up and find somebody who you didn't know, and it was important that you didn't know them and they didn't know you, so that they didn't already know your story. And he had us tell our background from our heart, what we did about it, then that we found a solution, which in our case would be Lucerity, and how I feel about it now. And so I told my story to the other person, they told it to me within 2 minutes, we were done. He had us sit down, get up again and pick up another partner that we didn't know and do the same thing over again. Your background, what you did about it, that you found the solution, and how you feel about it. Then we sat down and we got a third person that we didn't know, and all we did this time was tell that we found the solution and how we felt about it. And everybody sat back down with their jaws had dropped down. It was so ugly and cold to tell about how you found the solution and how you feel about it now, as opposed to our background and our story and what we did about it. When we left that out, it was cold and ugly. But what we have to look at in the industry is generally what we're doing is we're so excited and we're so nervous about telling our whole story, is that we go out and we tell about our solution, Nucerity International, and how we feel about it, that you should join. And we're going out there and being basically ugly if you look at it from that point of view. It was jaw-dropping, the difference. I'm going to tell you right now, I will never, ever talk to a prospect without telling my story and what I've done about it.
It was huge. It was
Massive.
so huge. And it was one of the biggest things, and we all know about our story. But you do. Oh, they don't need to hear about mine and why I didn't like what I did. I'm just going to tell them the solution. And that's all I'm going to do. And it turns people off. So one of the biggest things was there was quite a different gal behind me. And so I can hear her the whole time. She's speaking the whole time going, oh, people call me pushy. People call me pushy. Wait till I show them. People call me pushy. And I thought, whoa, okay, because you're giving off the vibe already and we're just taking a course. She does this and she gets to the second part where all she does is tell about the solution and how you feel about the future. And she goes, now that is epic. That is amazing. And Eric's up there going, he didn't hear her, but he said, you'll be called pushy. And no one will want to be around you if all you do is you found a solution and how you feel about the future. So it was, you got to be aware of what's happening around you. It was like, wow, bing, 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 so key. So Jan is going to go out there and tell her story 100 times. Now, she has a choice. She can take a year. She can take a month. She can take a week, whatever she likes. And that's totally up to Jan. But do you guys want to take that challenge too? Do you know what your story is? What is your background? What didn't you like about it? What is the solution? We teach this in Nucerity all the time. And how do you feel about the future? And we're not talking a 10-minute story. We're talking like a long elevator, right? Not a short elevator where you can barely get anything in, but a long elevator ride where you can really share. I was in the corporate world. What I didn't like is that I was maxed out. I had no freedom, time, my finances were tapped, and I didn't see my future. And do you know that number 2 is the most important? What you didn't like? Out of all 3, that is the most important. Do you share that? And then, you know what? I got a phone call 7.5 years ago, changed my life. It excited me. I saw a solution. I saw a way that I could spend more time with my family. And I love it. And I'm working this business so that I can have more time. I'm so excited about the future. Was that hard? Right? Don't be perfect. Right, Trace? It's just simple.
Yeah. And that, like what Dave said too, it was one what Jan said. Eric is all about simplicity and making simple little tweaks to get epic results. And it was exactly that. So just to really pound it home to you guys, the first time he had us do it, it was what was your background, what was the pain inside of your background, what it was that you didn't like about your background, what it was that you were doing, then how you found a solution and how bright your future is going to be. So then the second time he had us do it, he made us elaborate on the pain. And that brought real connection with the stranger we were talking to, because we all get the pain of missing out on family, of being capped at a certain dollar, of losing our pension, whatever the pain inside of your background was. And then, of course, like you said, and then the third time we did it, just talking about the solution and the future, it was very uncomfortable because there was no connection. It was just a sales pitch. It was just mind blowing. So yeah, I'm excited, you guys.
I'm going to tell you, if you go out and do that 100 times, your business will totally change. So how many times can you do that a day? And say you're in a contest. That works great. I'm in a contest. It's with my business. I'm trying to do talk to many people of my story. Do you mind just giving me a few minutes? Nobody says no. And they're going to go, wow, that's really cool. Good on you. You go for it, right? Be vulnerable, you guys. You're not living here so that you're worrying about what your neighbor thinks of you. You are you. You are unique. You are special. Go be special. Quit being a little. Quit playing small. This is about being special. You are special, and you have greatness in you that you need to share with the world. You're being selfish. You're keeping it in. We need to see it. We need to feel it. It's the most incredible thing you can ever do. So we will go over a lot of this training as we go along. And I want to thank you guys for your input because it was great. I mean, we could do this for 5 hours, you guys. We're so pumped. 14 hours a day did not feel like it, except in the chairs where your knees, right? Dave's knees were up to his ears. But that was the hard part. But the content, it didn't matter. We didn't need to sleep. It was so epic. So Calgary, events. He talks about events, and it will change your business. Go to Calgary. Those of you that can go to Australia, I totally understand the cost, but try to get to Australia. If you can't, there's no excuse for you not going to Eric Worre. And right now it is August 7th, and you're going to say, I don't have the money. Are you willing to sit down with your mentor and come up with a strategy, 25 strategies to get there? Because it'll change your life. Events change your life. This event, we could have all said, we don't have time, we don't have this. We didn't. Nobody has the time, right? Some of us have the money, but that's okay, time. And so you could have had 100 excuses. It was epic. I'm never going to forget it all my life. What we got to experience by that event. Do you want to see Tony Robbins? Do you want to hear Pitbull's story in November? Do you want to go with the team? There's massive teams going, you guys. Karen Hay, she did her payment plan. She's just paying away her little thing. She's got it all figured out. She's got a strategy on what hotel she's going to stay in. It ain't a fancy one. Those are some of the best times, right? She's going with team members. Are you guys taking this business seriously? I know I'm going to see Bobby in Australia. That's for sure, and I can't wait. But I get it. If some of you can't spend $5,000 to go there, but you need to go to as many events as you can. And then we've got one in March, right? You know, what changed our life was we had 4 conferences a year in the States, and we had lost all our money. So when people say they can't afford it, we took sandwiches, smuggled them over the border on the planes. We took sandwiches. Thank goodness there wasn't dogs to smell them, because we almost got in trouble with Saskatoon. Of all places, they're searching everything. And I think it's because I had the elite package and broke it open in my purse. But oh my God, I thought we were going to get strip searched there for a bit. But are you doing everything you need to? Have you made the final decision that I'm not going to watch, that I'm going to actually do? Because guess what? We're going to be $1 billion company. Are you still going to be watching? And I was the worst. For years, I was the next year we're going to do that, honey. Ken would say, we're going on a vacation. No, next year. You know what? I don't want to get in a bathing suit. I'm going to wait next year. Next year, I'm going to do this. Next year, I'm going to do a network marketing business. What's next year? While we were down there, one of our dear friends passed away. Right? Who knows? So thank you all for being on. 72 people on here. You're freaking rock stars. You could be watching The Bachelor, the After the Rose. You could be doing all of that, but you're not, because that won't change your life. So thank you so much, Darcy, for allowing us to share. Anything else Tracy and Dave and Jan want to share?
Just a couple of quick things is that for most of us, we are not business-minded people. We are employees. So I really think that what we need to do is totally understand that we are in business and start Googling and researching what business owners, how much they spend, how many hours they work, what they do to create success in their business. And you're going to find out it is very minimal effort of what we need to do in here. Second one, and I'll close with this, is that Eric Worre said that we need to be bold, we need to be passionate, we need to be throwing all of our products on the table when we're sitting down, we need to be proud, and we need to be loud. Dave and I just had his oldest son and his wife at our place for this last weekend, and they own a CrossFit gym. Their truck is plastered with CrossFit. The only clothing they wear is CrossFit. Everything they are doing is about their business to create a brand and to create excitement and confidence and to create success. Are we wearing our brand? Are we wearing our logos? Are we using our products? Are we putting them out on the table? Are we putting literature out? Are we being bold and proud and confident and excited about how we can change others' futures as this business is changing ours?
I think you need a little bit more passion.
I think she needs to cut back on the elite, and I don't think we'll be sleeping around here tonight. This is my pain, guys. Hey, listen. So here's the deal. You know, anybody, the 72 people that are on this call, you guys are all special. Every single one of us are special because, again, as Deb said, we chose to be here. This business isn't for everybody. There are a lot of customers out there, and we realize that. But for those that see the difference and want to make a difference in their lives, 72 of us are here right now, and there's a whole bunch of other ones in our company that are like that. You know, when Deb mentions build to events, we don't even need to be looking at just the big events, you know, Calgary and New Brunswick or PEI, wherever it is, and Australia. We need to be looking into our hometown. Every week in Vernon, there is an event. In Kelowna, once a month, there's an event. If your hometown doesn't have an event, be that leader and start one. Start a culture within the culture and get people out to the events, because when they come out, they feel the culture. And then you have a chance to work on training. That's my close.
Fantastic. So Darcy, back to you.
Yeah.
Team time, whatever it is.
Jan, did you want to share one last thing?
The one thing that I really enjoyed was Harvey McKay he's a giver, and it's all about investing in relationships. And I had a friend that I called, and she said that, oh, if it's that company, and one lady called her, and that's all she wanted was to get her on her team. And she didn't like that. So invest in friends and keep in touch with them.
You're so
Awesome.
right, Jan. It's not about you, it's about them.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you all. You know what? That was an amazing night. Thanks, Deb, Tracy, Dave, and Jan for sharing your takeaways. That was a great night. Lots of notes, you know, just unstoppable confidence. Like, make that decision and have unstoppable confidence. I love that. And so we'll be back again next Monday, 8:30, for some more trainings. And feel free to invite more from your team to come along. For the meantime and in between time, this is Diamond Darce saying have a great week. Thanks again.
Darcy, can you duck down so I can see what it says behind your head? Yay. Thank you. Thank you.
You betcha. Vision,
Perfect.
commitment, results. That's why it's the
You
VCR.
bet. Okay, thanks, Darcy.
Let's rock this week, you guys.
Bye,
All
everybody.
right.
Crush it.
Tracy, I took the tape off.
Thanks everyone for your nuggets. That was awesome.